to gather the elect.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think Bob Lazar, and not for the reasons that most would talk about, mainly because Bob Lazar was immediately discredited. They said he never worked where he worked. They said he never did what he did. But yet Bob Lazar showed up with a bunch of friends and a video camera and was filming these test flights in the middle of the desert. So clearly he knew something.
Book of Revelation 6 and...
Madam Chairman, if I'm out of time, I yield back.
Thank you very much, Representative Ogles. I'd like to go back now on our lightning round of
15
questioning
the kings
to
of the earth and the
Representative
great
Burchett
man,
and
the rich
Burleson.
man, the chief captains, and the mighty man, every bondman, and every free man.
Burchett always number one.
Hid themselves in the dens and the rocks. Mountains. Why? Because they're going to be trying to hide from Yahweh Shai. They're going to be trying to hide
Number one
from
in your
Yahweh
heart,
Shai.
number 435 on the chart. That's me.
And they're going to be bugging out. They already know what's coming. They just don't want us to know what's coming.
Knowing you testified to
in the
Arrow,
meantime,
are they obfuscating
fake
when
narrative
they claim to have discovered no evidence of extraterrestrial
these
beings,
Nordics or whatever
activity,
other
or
name they got
technology,
in
and are
the
they
cut.
lying to the American public?
And that's what
As I
Esau
said
do.
before, it's a manipulation of the public perception. The
says the kings of the earth and the great man, the rich man, the chief captain, and the mighty man, every bondman, every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. It said to the mountains and the rocks falling,
Would y'all like to comment on that further?
From the throne, from the
Mr.
wrath of the
Knapp,
Lamb. When
Well,
the Lamb come back,
it's
he
splitting
died as a
hairs.
lamb,
No
he come
proof
back
that
as a
they're
lion.
extraterrestrials. What would that proof look like? A piece of kryptonite?
And what did a lion do
What would it
when
be?
they're
I mean,
angry? Tear shit
we could
up.
be talking about different forms of non-human intelligence.
I'll
I
make it
think
one
the dominant paradigm is that they come from outer space, somewhere else, and they have some way.
Somebody asked me about it, so I just wanted to bring this up. Let me see.
Can cross those vast distances that we can't even imagine doing, but not necessarily. That's not necessarily the answer. So, asking for proof of extraterrestrials might not be the answer at all. It's splitting hairs. We don't know where they're from. I don't know anyone who knows the answer for sure. They call them aliens just as a placekeeper kind of a word, but no one in all these programs who study this stuff for years, people with much bigger brains than mine, knows the answer for sure.
I've talked to Navy folks talking about the same some of the deep sea areas. They think there might be something there that they're here.
I
don't know when they got here. Another point that needs to be made is every time
they're gonna bug out.
we
First
say
of all,
we're
that
going to
angelic
back engineer or whatever you want to call it.
Power, you can feel that. So the
I
whole
always
earth
say
is
like
gonna
it'd
feel
be
that.
like if you took I
The
ride
military,
motorcycles, but if you
when
took
they
like
out
an
in the
Indian
air,
or a Harley.
Wherever
The
they
people
be
that
at,
came
in
over
the
here on the
Valley of Jehoshaphat,
Mayflower,
'cause they're gonna be over that reason.
they'd see a bright shiny
gonna feel that.
object.
They're gonna bug
they
out.
might polish it.
Now it says,
they might.
whatsoever the voice went out of his
might
mouth,
get it started.
all
I
they
doubt
burnt,
they
heard his
could.
voice.
They couldn't.
Like it's
They
the
couldn't
earth filled
work
with
on
the
it. They
fire.
couldn't put fuel. They
After
wouldn't
this, I
be able to
beheld
have the
and lo,
capability of
there
putting
was
fuel
gathered
in
together
it.
multitude of men
I just
out
think
of
that
number from
that's
the
we're
four winds
scratching at something
of
that
heaven
we
to
don't have
subdue
any
the man that
knowledge
came out of the
of.
sea.
And that's
that's
why
what's going to
it's
go
just
down, man.
taking so dadgum long. But they do know.
Esau,
first
such a
one
damn
that
demon.
cracks
They're
that
going to try to
it's
grab up
over.
Yahweh Shai.
I mean,
they're going to try to grab up the angels.
It's
try to
energy,
put
it's
them in a
power,
bunker
it's
and
everything.
interrogate
And I worry
them and
too
shit.
that
That's
in
what
the
Esau
wrong
like to
hands,
do, man.
if they
Especially
do
when they
that,
see a powerful black
they
man.
keep it
They
from
see
the rest
that's
of
why they
us because they're so
why they always
invested
target
in
us so much.
whatever
Esau
energy
really
sources
fears.
we have here. That
Esau
their
really
billionaire
fears.
buddies are going to profit, and they can't retool
brown
because they
skin,
know
dark
once it's
skin
out on the
man
internet, it's over.
Being conscious enough.
And so I
to
think
be a
there's a lot
leader
of
and
things
make his
going
people
after it,
do
and I
right.
think that's why
And be
the
righteous
move
out of it.
to discredit folks is so
Esau really fear
rapid
that.
too. I think they point to them
So,
and they put the dogs on them.
Seeing the
and
angelic
it disgusts me.
There's a price to be
Esau
paid
so
for
bugged
that
out, they're
too.
gonna try to
The
fight
Russians
that.
and Chinese are trying to figure this out as well, but
And they ain't even really
don't
gonna
have
wanna
the same
fight.
kind
They're
of
gonna be
stigma.
scared.
They
Like the
tell their
scripture
best
mentioned, I said,
scientists and engineers,
yeah,
get in there and work on
he
it.
graded himself
And they've
a
been
great
doing
mountain
it for a
to
very
flew upon.
long
Talk about
time.
the
Might
ship.
have
That's
a
how
head
big that
start
ship
on
gonna
us.
look, like a big
Here,
mountain
we
flying.
don't have our best scientists and
They said,
engineers
without seeing the
working
region
on
of
it because
place,
they've been told it's nonsense. The
without
stigma is
hills
very
greater.
real for people
And I
like
could
that.
not, but after this I beheld and lo,
Yield back,
they was
Chair
gathered
Lady.
together.
Thank you.
to
Now I'd like to
they which
recognize
all
Representative
were gathered
Burleson.
together to subdue him, were so afraid and yet durst
Mr.
fight.
Nusatelli,
And she saw the violence of the
when
multitude
you heard
that came,
the
he neither
testimony
lifted up
of
his hand,
Mr.
nor held
Knapp
a sword, nor any instrument
talking
of
about
war. But only I saw that he sent out
these
his mouth,
missiles were shut
as had
down
been
or
a blast
turned
of fire,
on
and out of
in
his lips a
Russia,
flaming breath. Out of
does
his
that,
tongue he cast
does
out
that
sparks and
remind
tempest,
you,
and they were all
when you hear these
mixed together,
stories, it's got to
blast of
remind you
fire,
of the event that
flaming
happened
breath, and the
on
great
your
tempest,
base?
and filled with violence
Absolutely,
upon the
there are
multitude,
many
which was prepared to fight,
accounts
and burnt them up every one,
incursions
so
of
that
this
upon
type
a
taking
sudden,
place. I believe
and the
in
number of a
the
multitude
60s we had a similar incursion in New
only
England.
dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw
And,
this, I was afraid. Now
same
look, let me
thing
go to this
happened.
real
There were
quick. I wasn't gonna pull
objects
this.
coming over the base at low
Look at this.
altitude, 200 feet over the base security police, and they were scrambling fighters, and then the objects would just fly off, and that went on for weeks. So the historical record has laid out that there's a pattern. That our installations are visited by these craft.
Joel,
You know, they come
chapter
in
3,
and do
verse 2
whatever
says, I
they're
will
doing.
also gather
and
all
then they
nations.
leave.
Why is he going to gather
We
all
don't
the
know
nations?
how
Because
to
he's going to show,
respond.
the Most High
We
want to
don't know
show his
how to
power
protect
through his
the
son.
installation.
He's going to show, like, hey, these heathens got all
When
these
you
nukes
first
and all this
heard,
military
and
shit.
we're having to
I'm about to
report
show
on
you
these
who really running
incidents
shit,
that were
though.
being witnessed by other individuals.
They're going to be wiping each other out.
Did you find
And in the midst of them wiping each other out, they're going to link up and try to fight Yahweh Shah and Angel. That says, I would bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and would plead with them there for my people and for my heritage of Israel. So the Most High haven't forgot about us.
Occurring, we were all together.
Even though it seems like it's been a long time,
40,
it ain't been that
60,
long.
100 people
The Most High didn't forget about us. He just was giving us time to get right.
You know, there'd be
Learn
40,
what we need to
60,
learn.
100 people on
Experience what
duty
we
during
experience on
these
this side. So
encounters.
really
when it's time for the
all
judgment
seeing
to
it
take
at the
place,
same time?
Yes, these encounters were playing out while
the
we were
righteous
on
get delivered
duty,
and the wicked, they end up getting wiped out.
and we
God
were
says,
responding
whom
and
they have scattered
investigating
among the
in real
nations and
time
part of my
as they
land.
occurred.
So
And
you
as
know
you
who
said,
they're
the
talking about.
importance of your operation was highly important because they said it's the most important in 25
Joel
years.
3 and 12 said, let the heathen be wicked.
The research
And
that
come
you
to
were
the valley of
conducting.
Jehoshaphat,
For that
there will I
particular
sit the
launch,
judge,
we
all
had
the heathen round about. So
500
all them
Air
going to be in
Force
this one
police officers guarding the
location.
launch. 500 people. It was
Just
that
so they can get
critical.
jacked up.
Wow.
But had this thing showed up, we
then
wouldn't
you're gonna have, you know,
do anything to prevent.
Some of the top advisors of the top
Real quickly,
elites,
can you
they're
just
going to be
re-describe
underground hiding like
size
some
and whether or
cowards.
not you heard anything? It was
That's what Esau
how
did.
big wise?
Like to hide out.
The two square objects were at least as large as a football field.
And they're going to be the first fruits
The
to help us
second
build a kingdom
encounter,
up.
they think it was much larger than a football field. We're
When
talking
New
about
Jerusalem get built,
flying
we're not building
buildings.
shit.
The
We're just going
object
to
I
be giving
saw
orders.
was about 30 feet diameter.
And to
which is
confirm, you were
large.
not the only person
The
that saw
heathens
this.
going to have plenty of work to do.
I think I was
Ain't gonna be
also
no
told
unemployment.
that there was also
gonna
reports
be
of
no
this in a police
hyperinflation, none of
slaughter
that
in
shit.
the area. Can you confirm that?
Stuff
Yes,
gonna
that's
be moving
the,
right.
the
And the Most High
documentation
putting
that I
Akim in.
maintained
Yeah.
from the
Ruling
original
class
event.
mentality now.
And,
So once
turned
that
into
time
Arrow
comes,
and
we
the-
already been practicing certain acts. We're
Any
just
more,
going to turn it
Burleson?
up some more. We're gonna
No,
amplify it.
Madam Chair, I just want to reiterate to the
Stuff we
American
lost
people
on this side, he going to allow us to.
if you're frustrated,
Gain
so
way,
are we.
way more.
We're extremely frustrated. We've been, the
we
2,
dream
3
about
years. I
desire,
can only
we gonna get
imagine
that.
how
Bless
frustrated Mr. Knapp is, or Danny Sheehan is, and the amount of
And
time
Esau
that
know
you
that.
guys have poured into this.
That's
to
why
try
they
to
wanna
get
beat us so
answers.
bad, 'cause
Jaime
they
Masson
feel
is
like
back
if
there.
they
He's
can
been
get us
pouring
out the
to try
way,
to get answers into this.
they can inherit what we about to get.
I
ain't
hope that
going
you
down
all
like
see
that.
that we're committed to
As it
this,
is written.
and we're going to be scrappy
Like the
about it.
scripture
We
said,
may
"Go
not
carry
have
weight
the
for
direct
us." So
authority.
I just want to bring this
but,
out. I don't want to write this out
I
as
can assure
edifying.
you, Representative
Esau ain't
Luna
gonna
is
allow
about as scrappy as it
I get
gets.
them to come into
I wouldn't
these
want to
little
scrap
meetings
with
and
her.
stuff like that, like how they have 'em.
But that being
You know,
said,
they
I
have
think
certain
that if
people in
the
there, they
American
ain't gonna have
people want to
nobody
see
come in
answers,
there going over
we
these
need
precepts, 'cause they'll bug
action.
out.
We've had the
If I was
hearings.
able to go in
It's
there
time to
and
take
read these
action.
precepts like this,
It's time that we
Sir Akin
pass
was able to go in
Tim
there and read
Burchett's
these precepts like that, they'll bug out.
Whistleblower Act. It's time that we pass the UAP Disclosure Act.
Yeah, they swear on these
I
scriptures.
think that
They
we've
swear
had
on
a
the
lot of
Bible,
talk about this.
but they
It's
don't really know the
time
mystery
for
like that.
action.
Thank you, Burleson.
With the water, how about we know the mystery. Allow Akim to know the mystery. So we see what's really going on and see through all the bullshit that Esau put out.
I would now like to yield 30 minutes to Representative
So
Corbett.
call all Yahweh Shalom Shah.
Oh,
Shalom
sorry.
to the left.
Thank you. In closing.